Hi everybody, and welcome to this Masterclass Lesson 2. I am Bonnie, I'm one of your tutors, and we are going first to review some of the concepts that we learned on the Lesson 2, and then we are going to have space for questions. So leave your questions on the comment section. So first I'm going to share my screen with you, and we are going to talk about for like 25 minutes about the topics, and the questions will be at 30 minutes. So if you have questions, leave it there. Okay, the topics that we review on the lesson 2 was access control, interfaces, inheritance, and polymorphism. So first, we are going to talk about access control. We can give the certain access control to the variables and the methods to the other classes methods or in other packages. For that, we use public, protected, private, or default when we are declaring classes, methods, and fields. For example, the public are shared between all the classes in the same package, other classes, and in other packages too. The protected, it shares between the same package classes, other classes in the same package, and subclasses on other packages. The default, or when we don't write anything, is the default, or usually name it to friendly. It shares between the same class in the same package and other classes in the same package. And there is the private access control key that is only in the same class in the same packages. Depending which type of information we are dealing with, we use this information. For example, if we want to save a lot of information that is more important and needs more security, we will use private or protected. And if we want to share data between classes in the same class and other packages, we should use public. That will depend on the type of data that we are using it. Okay, we are going to review today about the interfaces. We are going to use the same example that we was using the last lesson about the class dog, but we are going to extend it a little bit. So the interfaces, interface is a group of related methods with empty bodies. Is used to specify the behavior. For example, we are going to build two classes, the class dog and the class cat. The class dog has the fields breed, fur, and age, and the methods eat and walk. And the class cat will have the fields breed, claws, age, and the methods eat and hunt. And we are going to create an interface named pet, because we want to create a group of related methods for both of these classes, because if they're both a pet, they're going to make some certain things to both of them. In the implementation, they are going to do it different quite a bit, but are the same concept for both of them. So for example, for this interface pet, we are going to create the methods play and pet, because the two of them, we are going to play with them and we are going to pet them. So first we are going to create these two methods. So I will share you a little bit of code. This project is public, so if you want to try it with me, you are welcome to do it. The number of the project is 5524, 8. Okay, first, we are going to declare a new interface pet. So we are going to create it public, that is a type of access control, and will be a public interface that we are going to create with all the group of methods that we're going to need. Okay. We saw on the presentation, we are going to implement the methods play and pet. And as we said, these ones are empty methods that are declared on this interface because we are only specifying the behavior. So we are going to create play and pet. Both of them, we are going to create them public. And for example, for play, we are going to give it a little bit of data. For example, the toy with they are playing with. And that we are going only to declare it. Okay, let's compile it. Wait a little bit. Oh yeah, what type of data we are going to return? Here, let's do both of them, just void. Okay, let me show you a little bit of what we are going to do. Okay, turning on the presentation. Okay, now we already declared the interface class, well, the interface. And now we are going to implement on both of the classes. Okay, let's do it. Oh, here's the name, sorry. Right, okay. Now open the class dog. Because we said that this dog will behave like a pet, we have to tell the class dog that is a pet, and we are going to implement these two methods. The public class dog will implement the interface pet. Now, the dog has the behavior of a pet. So we are going to add both of these methods. I will copy from here more quickly. Okay. And here, they are no more empty. We have to implement the behavior depending what type of pet they are. For example, with the dog, we are going to print a little bit of data. For example, for the dog, I'm going to say that they play fetch with us. So fetch. We are playing fetch with the toy. And we are that is on the parameters. So here is toy. Okay. And for the method pet, we are going to say that they are happy and they move their tail. Okay. Here is they are happy and moving its tail. Okay. So this dog right now has the behavior of a pet, and now we are going to add this behavior to the class pet. So first, the cat implements the behavior pet. Pet is the behavior of both classes and is an interface. And here we add the code, the specific implementation for a cat. So for example, the cat is going to hide its toy or something like that. I don't know much of cats. I'm more like, I love more the dogs. So the cat is just going to hide its toy. For the petting, we are going to say that is happy and just that is happy. Okay. I don't know too much about pets. So let's compile it. Okay, now we are going to try it on the main class. So first we are going to create a dog class, for example, a puppy, a new dog, and the data was, oh yeah, the breed, the age, and the 4. Breed, age, 4. Okay. So the breed, for example, would be a black retriever. We'll have the age of, for example, because it's a puppy, will be, oh, sorry, this is the wrong place. Okay, here. Here. For example, it's a puppy, so just will have 1 year old, and the 4 will be black and short. Now we're going to create the class cat. Will be a kitty, maybe a pussy, maybe a pussy one, but it will be a kitty. Okay, and the data that we are giving it to the cat are the breed, the age, and the type of claws that it has. So will be, for example, some cat like Garfield, I don't know, and will have 3 years old or something like that. And the claws will be long and sharp. Okay, now we're going to try both interfaces. Just let me compile it because to know if there is an error. No, okay. And we are going to call both interfaces to each of them. If you see, if we call from puppy the method play, it will use the behavior of the pet on that the dog implements. And here we'll give it a tennis ball. And for the kitty, we're going to give it a wool ball, or maybe a, a mouse toy. Yeah. Okay, let's compile it. And if we execute it, if you see, we create one dog and one cat. And the dog, we call the same method that is fetch. The puppy go to fetch with the toy tennis ball, and the kitty goes to hide its toy because it's a mouse toy. Okay, now returning on the presentation. Now, there is another kind of method that we can specify on the interfaces that is named static. So we are going to specify this, like the static ones on the classes, will be shared between all the interfaces the same behavior. For example, we are going to give them healthcare. Um, we are going to bring a bed for both of them. So it's the same behavior for all the beds. So we are going to implement the healthcare method like a static one. So returning to the code. Now on the pet behavior, on the pet interface, we are going to implement it. This static field will be healthcare. Okay, the healthcare, and here, because it's an static one that is shared between all the classes that implements the pet behavior, we are going to implement here. So this will be just void, and we are going to use. We are going just to print that they are going to the vet, to the veterinary. So they are going to that. Okay. Let's compile it. Okay, and if you see, there is no compilation error because this is an static one. So here on cat and dog, we don't have to implement it. For example, if we forget to implement one of the methods that are non-static, this will throw us an error. Let me show you. See, the Java compiler is telling us that we forgot to implement it right here. Okay, let's fix it. Okay, so now we are going to try this new static method, healthcare, on both of them. So for the puppy, we are going to call healthcare, and for the kitty too. And if we compile it, cannot find symbol. Let me review it. Healthcare. The puppy. Let me view it a little bit. Give me a little bit of time, sorry. We already implemented here, so we are calling it here. give me just a little bit of time. Oh, let me correct this. Healthcare. It's void, is healthcare. They don't receive anything. Let me just give me a little bit of time, please. Okay, let me see it. Oh, we have to use it. Let me review it. Okay. Oh yeah, I almost forget it. Okay, I'm just sorry. The study one we have to specify it. We have to implement it, and the next one that we are going to review is that it's the default. That one is not implemented. Both of them. Sorry. So if we try it again, we compile it and execute it. See, both of them are going to the bed. So now we are going to view, for example, if we want to add a new class that is named ferret, but we are going to give it, for example, we are going to create a new class ferret, and both class dog and cat are already used on other parts of our code, and we want to add a new behavior on the interface pet for this new class ferret, we can create it like a default one. So if it's not implemented in the new in the older classes, we'll do the default behavior that we specify on the interface, and we can specify the new behavior to the class ferret, and just forget about it to implement it on the dog and the cat. Let's try the default method. So here we say that is a default. That is a default method that will be void and will be sleep. Okay. So this one we don't have to specify is if it's public or it's private, because it's a default method will be always public. So here we are going to use to print the default behavior if we forgot to implement it on the dog and the other classes that, for example, they are all already being used it on other parts of our code. So we'll write that they are sleeping. Okay. So if we forget to implement it on dog and cat, if we call it, you will see that it will do the default behavior that we defined on the interface. See, they are sleeping. So if we want to do it on the ferret class, I'm going to copy this from these ones. So the new ferret class, we can specify about what they are going to do on the sleep method. Happy and the first they when they are happy they dance a little bit, so they will be dancing, happy and dancing. And we're going to add the method sleep. So for example, if we want to specify here the method for this forest, for the class forest, we can specify, we can implement it here. And the other classes, because it's a default behavior, we don't need to specify it for them. This type of things are really useful for the maintainability and scalability of our code. For example, this will be sleeping happy night. This will be a happy night for the ferret. So if we compile it, now we can try to instantiate a new ferret class. Baby ferret. I don't know how to say it on the baby ferret. So this is the new ferret. And the species will be like a coffee one. The ones that are like black and white. The age would be like 2 years, and because the other property of the ferret was dance, because no, sorry, the length will be really long or just long. Okay. Now we are going to call this instance of ferret the method sleep. So if we try it, see, is doing the behavior that we implemented on the ferret, and in the other classes we can forget to do it because we'll execute the default behavior that we specify on the interface. So now we see here the three classes has fields and methods in common, the breed and the age, and in the methods, it has the same method, it. So we are going to create a superclass or a class animal, and the class dog, cat, and ferret will inherit its properties from this parent class. So now we are going to create this class animal that will have the fields breed, age, and it, and the class dog, cat, and ferret will inherit these properties, these fields and methods from the class animal. The class animal will be the superclass or parent class, and the dog, cat, and ferret class will be the subclass, the subclasses or child or children classes. Okay, so let's go to the code. And now we are going to create the animal one. So we are going to receive the breed and the age, and we are going to create here these fields. The animal fields are shared between all the classes. The breed and the age. And the method that is shared between all the classes, that is the it method. It method. We compile it. There is no errors. So now we are going to tell, we don't need this anymore. We are going to tell the dog class that it extends from the class animal. We are going not, we don't need this here, neither this one. And we are going to call its superclass, the superclass constructor. So we write super. This will call the constructor animal here. So we give the data breed and age, and we don't need them here anymore. Let's see it. Okay, now it's the dog is a child from the animal class. We will do it too for the cat. Just the cat. We are going to forget about the fur just right now. If you want to try it, let's use you to the project and try to extend the class for the ferret. Now we are not going to do it. Animal. Okay, animal. And we are going to quit this and this one. And we don't need any more this one. Okay. Let's compile it. Okay. And if you see, we can call it again. And we can call it because these classes, these child classes, are inheriting the fields and methods that are on the animal class, and we are calling it the superclass constructor. Okay, now we are going now that we have a superclass animal and the subclasses dog, cat, we are going to talk about polymorphism. We use polymorphism when we are using a lot of subclasses, and we need to to call methods and take a little bit of properties from them. So we can store a child class in a superclass. As you see on this piece of code, we can declare the animal and store in there as a subclass. And we can know which of the child classes, which of the subclasses is with the code instance of. So we are going to try it on the main method. I'm going to erase a little bit of these things. No, I'm just going to comment it if you want to try it then later. Okay, the polymorphism. So we are going to use this kind of things that is really useful when we are using a lot of these animals classes. For example, in a linked list, I'm just going to import the linked list, Java util and linked list. I'm going to compile it, and it's okay. So the linked list, you can declare the generic type of the linked list as a animal, and then we can store there all the subclasses that inherits from the class animal. We're going to create a new linked list with the generic type animal. Let's compile it. And if we want, we can add to this linked list instances from the we can add here instances of the parent class. For example, puppy, that is a subclass of the animal class, and the kitty. Let's compile it. If you see, there is no error because you can store like the genetic type, this specifying this kind of classes that inherits from the superclass animal. And if we want to imagine that there is a lot of them, so I'm going to use a 4. We are going to call a lot of them. Imagine that there is a lot of them. How we can handle a lot of these of different kind of child of subclasses. So here we are going to use the polymorphism. Okay, we are going to iterate on this linked list. More later on the course, we are going to teach you a more fancy way to do this. Right now, no. So for each of these animals, we are going to get them, to retrieve them, and if you want, you can call a method that are shared between them, for example, sleep. Oh no, that's called play. That is a behavior that is shared between them. Let me review it. Size, get, play. Oh, I almost forget it. They need a toy. Just, just a ball. Okay, let's see them. Play behavior. Okay, let me review it. Oh, for example, the it method that we can call from them. And this one doesn't need arguments. Okay, now we can call it from both of them using the polymorphism. Okay, right now I'm going to view if you have some questions and I will answer them. If you don't have right now questions, you can leave it on the comments on the forums. So let me see if you have some questions. Okay, right now there is no comments. I will leave on the comments the project if you want to try it. I will save the changes if you want to play with it, with the polymorphism. Oh, right now I'm not logged, so I'm going to do it later. I'm going to wait a little bit if you have some questions. So you remember for the lesson 2, we talk about the access control, the interfaces, inheritance, and polymorphism. Interfaces, inheritance, and polymorphism are features that only can be possible because Java is an object-oriented programming language. So we can use all of these tools when they are needed, and they are really powerful. For example, the interfaces, all of that we talk about the inheritance, the polymorphism. And if you see, they're really useful. For example, the default method because if you are already using some of your classes on production and you don't want to be changing it because there are a lot of them and you only need to change for the new ones, you can create a default implementation. Let me show you a default implementation that will be this kind of behavior will be the default behavior for all the classes that you don't implement. So your old classes could be will do this behavior, and the new classes that you are adding to your code, you can specify the new behaviors, and this will help you a lot with the part of scalability and maintainability of your code. Let me see if there is a question. Yeah, sorry, I don't save it because right now I am not logged in on my Coldboard account. So I will save it later. But if you want, you can try the code viewing again the video. Okay, I will wait for you if you have some questions. If you don't have right now, you can leave your questions on the comment sections on the forums, and the tutors we are going to answer them. I will wait a little bit. So if there is so clear, I'll be really happy if I said it really well. But if you have some doubts, if you have questions, leave it here or leave it on later on the forums. Or if you want to try this code, you can do it, try it, and then you can ask about this code on the forums. Okay, I see a question. Okay, give me a little bit of time. I'm going to answer your question. Give me a little bit of time. I'm going to answer your question. Shivam Patel is asking if I can explain about the virtual method invocation in polymorphism. So give me a little bit of time. I'm going to talk about it. Okay, let me try to help you. Okay. If we want to call Oh, that is about if we have some method that is already declared on the super method on the parent class, we can implement it again if we want to change the behavior for one of the children. So if we want here to call, if we want here to do another kind of behavior, for example, is eating a lot. Okay. I already changed it on the dog. Let's compile it. And if I call it here on the main, you can see that it's doing a different behavior. If you see, the dog, the puppy one, is doing a different behavior than the kitty one. Both of them are here declared like a generic type animal, that is the superclass. And both of them has this method eat. But because we are storing here the subclasses that are inheriting from them, if we can directly call these methods are being calling for these subclasses. So if we see here on cat, we don't specify the eat one. So this search here, if founds the eat method, there is not here no eat method. So goes to the next parent. So go to the animal parent and seek if here is the eat method. For example, we say that here's no eat method. And for example, animal extends from something, and in that something is implemented the eat method, we'll call the most lower method that is implemented. So if we implement it on the most superclass, for example, the something class, there is implemented the eat method. We will search here first because it's a cat instance. We don't see the eat method here, so we go to the next level of inheritance. We seek here the inheritance. There is no eat method, so we go to the next level. And if the next level has the method eat, we'll call in that level the method. And here we tried it again with the puppy. We got to the dog class, and in the executing time is seeking if this has the it method. So because it has it will execute this method, and this will not seek here because has already here. But in the cat class we don't have it, so we'll search on the next level of inheritance. If you see, here is being called the eating a lot of the puppy, and the cat, because it's not here the eat method, we're going to search to the next level, and here is the eating, the Garfield eating of the kitty. So I hope I answer your question about the virtual DOM, the virtual method calling, because if the method is not on the instance that we are calling, we'll search on the next inheritance level until it find it. And if it not find it, we'll throw an error. Usually this error is thrown on the compilation time. Oh, nice. So if you don't have some more questions, I'm going to stop here the the masterclass. And if you have more questions, you can leave it on the forums. So, okay. So thanks for being here. And if you have more questions about it, you can write it on the forums. And so have a nice week and have a nice day. So bye.